Dude, based on our last episode, the Vosh episode, I think we have an influx of Voshites. So if we're smart, the tech bro aspect of this is we gotta, what's it called? Not transition. Yeah, I guess we're transitioning this podcast. It's now a strict Vosh podcast. All right, we're just talking about Vosh. We're
Yes.
here about Vosh. That's what it
Welcome to
is.
the Vosh podcast. Yeah.
The
I
Vosh
do
pod.
I do really admire the fact that he like has this following that is just like, oh, what? A 2 hour video of a guy that I already have spent like fucking hours of my limited time on Earth watching talk. Like, let me go watch another 2 hours of him talking. I
Simps,
mean, it's
bro.
great.
We need some
Sims.
cold cut simps. I can't even pronounce the name of our podcast. We need some
We de
cold cut simps.
We definitely do. But no, dude, Vosh was great. I thought he was like, I don't know. I even went into it a little bit concerned that he was gonna be like a goofy boy on podcast,
Talking
and
about age of consent
I thought,
frequently. I thought
I know,
it'd be
I
a
thought
major
that
thing
we did get into some
with
child
anime
porn,
characters. Oh no, I guess we didn't
and
talk
that
about the
too. We thought
Destiny thing.
that was fucking
Dude,
kooky
I gotta
too.
reiterate, I don't understand. Vosh has had that whole debate thing follow him like his whole career. Not whole career, but like for years. And then it's like
Hmm.
the guy who's always sending people after him, Destiny, who'd be a great, he'd be a great guy to have on. Plus, this dude is constantly posting my comics. He
Is
doesn't
he
crop
really?
he doesn't crop my shit out. It's okay, but he'll take it and then post it instead of just like retweeting it. And I'm just like, "Arr."
Bit strange. Okay, a
Bit
little
strange, bit
strange, but
strange. But I don't understand how he hasn't had more flack because he was literally like in the trenches arguing like, yeah, if we found out child porn like helped pedophiles, like we should definitely invest in it. Ethical child porn. And it's like that's that's even a worse hypothetical than the Vosh one.
yeah, probably one of the strangest, most like debased like political opinions I've ever
Forget
heard.
debased, not based.
N-
Absolutely
unbased.
unbased, dude.
There's like I just don't I think like what I just when we I don't know if we got into this in the on the Bosch pod when we were talking about it, but just like why is the discussion of child porn even like what is there to debate? Like what are
Dude,
we like why
there
are
were
we
like
debating
7 or 8
this?
people, including this was like before your internet tenure, okay, before you
Uh-huh.
got big into the autistic trenches. But like,
Hmm.
it's literally like a trap. Every like big brain, philosophical, political, anyone who's deemed as like a genius, every single time they try to debate it, every single time, and it's always like the same thing. Like the Sargon of Akkad guy, I think he even got into it too. But this like I'm so smart, I will rationalize child porn. Or like I think to them it's like a big brain type thing, and it's just like completely addicting for them to like try and do it. But I don't know why, dude. It's so
Dude, it's
stupid.
like the smarter that somebody like postures themselves to be, the more that I am in the back of my mind just like, dude, shut up,
Yeah,
man. I do not
100%,
fucking
dude.
care. I don't care about your fucking opinion. I don't care how smart, even if you are really smart, shut up. You
Yeah,
have like that. What you think being smart is cool? I know a ton of smart people that are fucking lame. So
cringe, dude. Yeah,
cringe.
I'm
So
glad I'm lukewarm IQ, baby. That's where I'm
for real,
thriving.
bro.
That's where I'm
Yeah,
thriving.
for real. I mean, when I start even getting into that like existential crisis mode, where all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, like, what is the point of my life? Like, what am I doing? Like, am I happy with the choices that I made? I'm just like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do this. I'm
Yeah,
gonna get my fucking flips, milk chocolates, pretzels, and
bro.
I'm gonna go back to vibing like
We
you
need to we
should.
need to DM flips, bro. We need the flip sponsorship. By the way,
I
bro, I
yeah.
noticed I hate when I wear my Carhartt. I haven't worn my Carhartt for a while, but I hate when the square is in the middle. I
Oh
feel
yeah, you
like it
gotta get a
has to
little
be off
tilt.
to the side. Yeah, you gotta have like a tilt, dude. It's extra
Yeah,
crispy. But
yeah.
Carhartt too, if you're trying to sponsor two hardworking men, we're here. We're in the
Fuck yeah.
trenches of the internet. We're ready.
Yeah, I Carhartt is a great fucking brand, man. I
I
got put onto
love
them
Carhartt.
when we were in North Carolina. That's the first time I had heard of it, and it wasn't even like now it's like a streetwear kind of like
I hate
hipster
what
thing.
happened to it, bro.
Yeah, but
Because
it's
like
like yeah,
I was just gonna say my cousins are all like welders and they've been wearing it since we were like 5 years old. So I always
facts.
associated Carhartt with like working man. And then we
Yeah,
go to Elon and it was like men that weighed 10 pounds were decked out
for
in
wearing
Carhartt.
it.
And I was like, You're not a welder. You couldn't
No,
even lift up welding equipment. What the fuck do you need Carhartt for, you baboon?
I know, but some of that OG like Carhartt, like not because now that you know there's a whole separate branch of it now. There's like Carhartt Work in
Yeah,
Progress, and
it's
it's
like
actually
tech,
their like streetwear
street
brand or
tech
whatever.
wear. Yeah.
That shit is gay, but
I,
the actual Carhartt like jackets and the shit that they make is super high quality for like a decent price because it's
yeah,
not
dude, their
exactly.
jackets are pimping, bro.
Yeah, I
They
have one.
stay
I
toasty.
I have a jacket that's hanging up over there that's like a thick fucking. It was my winter wear jacket that I just fucking love. Yeah, but sometimes if you're wearing the jacket and the hat and a fucking, you start to feel like, all right, man, I kind of look like a walking
Yeah, I
Carhartt
hate when people
billboard.
do that. I had a guy at he was my swim captain in college, but it was like diehard Nike fan. Every piece of clothing had to be Nike, and it's just like that's too much. That's
Too
too
much.
much, dude. Like you got to
Too
mix and
much.
match a little bit. Dude,
No.
I based on we've gotten a few feet pictures, and it opened my eyes to this theory of how the foot fetish formed, and I'm convinced, bro. We've gotten a few feet pics from men who are hilarious men who thought, I'll send my foot in.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at a man's gnarled foot and it
Mm-hmm.
looks like a disgusting oak branch and it's vile, and then you immediately look at a woman's foot,
Mm-hmm.
there is something where it's like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I'm getting a knock on my door real quick. One sec.
Oh. All right. We're gonna watch Daft play Elden Ring in the background, even though I can only see the faint glow of the television. This would be a very good time if we had a sponsor. This CBD Kratom fucking menthol rub that you put on your gooch, cool it down. Or an eavesdrop. I think Zach is getting arrested.
They're worried about the guy next door. They're weird though.
What's happening? What was
Yeah,
that
dude.
about?
This lady was worried about the guy next door, but this guy's weird. I mean, I thought they were American, but then these canvassers came by and were knocking, and Daphne was like overhearing them because she was in the bathroom. But
Mm-hmm.
they were telling them like, "We're here illegally. We can't vote. Leave us alone." But in my head, maybe they were making that up. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I saw the guy yesterday, but she's saying he's like not answering calls and he has asthma, and they're worried he might be like dead or something.
Jesus.
Yeah, no good. But if you want to move to California, a
You got it a
delightful
free apartment.
one bedroom might be opening up. So
That's
just
that's insane. I also feel like that guy shouldn't just be telling strangers at his door that he's illegal.
that's no
Right?
good. But that's
That
why I was
that
like, this
doesn't
can't be
seem.
real.
Yeah. I mean, if he's lying, it's a pretty good way to get people off your porch. But if you're telling the truth, that could probably come back to
It's
to
no
get
good.
you in trouble.
It's
Yeah.
no good.
It's not good.
Daphne's foot just appeared on screen, but my point
Nice.
still stands before we were interrupted by a delightful older lady is they're truly I could get a foot fetish if I was forced to look at men's feet all day and then you showed me one woman's foot. They're much
Hmm.
more elegant. It's like looking at a swan compared to
Yeah.
like a very gross barnyard sparrow or something. So
Yeah.
that's my idea of how foot fetish is formed. Some guy was looking at his own feet all day, saw a woman's and was just like, God damn, what is going on? Their foot technology, they're like Japan. They've taken our foot technology as men, made it tinier, more sleeker, more
Yes.
appealing, and just
Uh-huh.
completely blown us out of the water. So,
Super aerodynamic. Yeah.
men, work on our feet. We got to work on our feet.
Yeah, my feet are kind of like long and weird and they have like hair on the toes. But even somebody listening right now is probably like, that is so hot. But did you see the Lighthouse? You saw that movie?
The one with Patrick Stewart, not Patrick Stewart, the
No,
vampire guy.
yeah, Robert
Robert
Pattinson
Pattinson. Yeah,
and
dude, I think we
yeah.
talked about this and you were chastising me. I only got like halfway through and I was like, I don't like this.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed it. It's actually probably my favorite movie that I saw in theaters that year. But to be fair, I tried watching it again at home, and I was like, this was a lot cooler to watch in theaters. And when you're at home and it's just this tiny black and white box and there's like minimal dialogue, you're kind of just like, I wonder what Twitter's up to. But anyway, in that movie, I don't know if you got to this part, but like somewhere like halfway through they become, I mean, he's like super depraved and like beat down because he hasn't seen another human besides this like grizzled, you know, old man for fucking who even knows, weeks, months. And he finds this little wooden like statuette of like a woman, but it's like barely recognizable as even a human form, but he's like jerking off to this little statuette, but it's because he's just so like he's been so detached from humanity that he's like it doesn't even matter anymore.
Dude,
It's like,
I have a similar story. You know what? You know, you hear a lot of people, and even myself, I've been like, how did people jack off to, you know, those African statues, and it literally looks like Kirby with like legs. It's like a
yeah,
very
like
thick woman, and it's like
yes.
historians are like, This is, I think, ancient pornography." I remember as a kid, I had to
Yeah.
been like, whenever I first started jacking it, okay, I had to be like 12 or 13 maybe, but my parents had this sculpture of this African lady, and it was like maybe about this big, and her tits were out, and she was jugged up, bro. But she,
Hmm.
other than that, her proportions were pretty normal. But I definitely distinctly remember jacking it to that statue. Like I'd taken it to the bathroom and jacked off a few times, which is
Yeah.
like quirky white boy. Quirky
It's
white boy say
definitely
winning. You know what I mean?
that is some quirky white boy
She
shit for
she had a
sure.
Nicki Minaj build, bro. Like with the bob, like it was perfect. So I remember, you know, the human mind. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, the things it
Yes.
can jack off to, absolutely beautiful.
It is beautiful. Dude, it reminds me of I don't know if I mentioned this on pod before, but there's like one comic that I did like I don't know, a couple months ago now that was like it was like an ancient caveman with like a little statuette of but it was one of those type
I
of
remember this
statuettes of
one.
a
Yeah,
woman.
yeah.
And it's just like this weird lumpy like figure that's hardly discernible as like a human form, and he's just like, me carve this for you. And then the girl that he's giving it to really does look like that. Like she's just shaped and has like a square head, and like and she's like, me have a boyfriend. And then it was the first time that I posted something and there was like an incel in my comments that was just like oh, a tale as old as time, and he tagged some like fucking like the wise gentleman, like at the wise gentleman or something like that. It was some retarded shit. Sorry, R word shit that was just like
Yeah,
like I was just
we
like,
gotta go 5 more
no.
minutes before we can start ripping out bad words.
Sorry, I just like realized you got to put the little wahoo over that, I
Yeah, yeah,
think.
there we go.
But
Dude, I think it's
but I was
so
just like,
funny. Sorry, finish.
no, well, this is going to be a whole separate tangent. But when we had Tom on, it sounded like he was almost he had friends that were incels or was maybe sympathetic to the incel movement
He
or
was
something. Maybe
talking
he was
about
joking.
famous incel artist who I don't want to. I think he's playing a bit of a character. Okay, I don't want to blow his cover, but
Right.
he's talking about the incel music shooter, school shooter.
A shooter.
Yeah,
Yeah. Who I didn't get a chance to listen to, but I mean I don't mind the idea of somebody like taking on a sort of character to do that
yeah.
shit. But the actual I almost said IRL, but I don't even know if there is an IRL community for it, but it's just like the actual incel community is like super concerning to me, like very
It's to
strange.
me,
I
it's
don't
not
really
concerning because these same
understand
people
it.
have a level of like. I don't think they could leave their house without having a panic attack. They're like the right wing equivalent of like the lefties who are like, we will start a revolution, and then it's like, I have to call for pizza and I'm too scared to ask for pepperonis. Like these people are like not effective
Yeah.
at doing anything. But I mean, I guess there have been technically a
No.
few incel shooters or
Who was the
type of
one guy
stuff.
that ran a? Did you
Elliot
ever watch
Rodger,
the?
right?
I think. Well, yeah, Elliot Rodgers one,
He
and then
should have just
actually, I think he
transitioned,
triggered
bro.
this other one. Do you think was that the story? Was
No,
that
I no,
he
but
was?
people joke about that. I think people post. I forget the
Uh,
picture, but they usually post like Elliot Rodger, and then like Abby Shapiro, and been like 6 months on estrogen. Yes, or whatever. But
yeah.
dude, you're talking about
Yeah, I think he.
the prehistorical those like figures, bro. And I think it's so funny to me. There's so many historians that when they talk about people in the past, they think that people like used to be borderline retarded. When it's like, dude, no, they were literally the exact same as us, pretty much just with like less good tech. Like it's the same human condition has survived forever. But one of my favorite things that came out of that is this theory that the reason those sculptures looked like that is they're like that's before human women knew what they looked like. So when they looked down, all they saw were these bulbous things of fat, so that's what they thought they looked like. And it's like, dude, I know you think you're cool because you have a historian degree, but like puddles existed. Things
Yeah,
existed where people saw what they looked like, you fucking baboon.
for real.
I
Yeah,
hate that shit, dude.
I don't understand that shit. And actually, I would say I've also seen this little factoid, posted before, but I couldn't really give you a citation. I'll just say I've heard it before, but it was like that actually we're dumber now than we were back then because back then you had you had to catalog all of the shit that you knew in your mind, like, oh, this is how I get home, this is the type of shit I can eat, this is what I can't eat. Like you had to, like, there's all nowadays, like, all of this communal knowledge is so easily accessible at our fingertips on the internet that we don't have to actually store as much information in
Dude,
our
I
brain
know
as we
we're
did
getting
back
dumber
then.
because even like go back to my parents' generation. My dad literally has like a map of the US in his head. Like he could
Yeah,
drive
that's
wherever he
crazy.
wanted. For me, it's like I literally drove the 7-Eleven when I first moved to Santa Monica before I moved here. 7-Eleven's
Hmm.
right down the street. My phone didn't have internet at the time, so I didn't have access to maps. Dude, I got lost for 2 hours driving
Yeah.
down the street because I took one wrong turn and it was like, I don't know where I am. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
literally. Dude, I have like a plaza that I have to go to every once in a while to like pick shit up. There's like a Target in it. And it's like I don't even know why, but every time I leave the plaza, I can't remember if I need to make a right or left to like get back
yeah.
to my house. It's
And
like
every time I'm
stupid
sure
shit
you're
like that.
like, all right, it is a right turn. I'm never gonna forget this. I know
I
it
know.
now. And then
I
it's like two
know.
minutes later, you're like, what? It's a
Yeah,
fucking
it
ass,
really
dude.
is that bad. Yeah. I also saw something that was really like, I think somebody posted this as a joke, but then I was like, oof, it actually like cut me really deep that it was like, it's probably not good for you to be like working full time in the same room that you sleep in. Like that's probably not good for your brain. And I was like, that's probably true, but
I'm
that's like
proof of that, bro.
basically what I
I'm
do.
proof of that, dude. When I
That's
was
basically
living
what
in
I'm doing.
at the Santa Monica apartment, when I was living in the basement laundry room, it was like that was like my heart of darkness fucking moment where I was like people would come visit and like creak the door open and there'd just be like fumes and like smoke pouring out and I would just be like hunched over like people, yes, come in, have a seat on my bed chair that I've made. Like terrible for the
Yeah.
brain and psyche, dude. It's just like
Who
too
is that
much.
Heart of Dark? I know you've brought up Heart of Darkness once before. Who is
Well, I
that?
think the movie is named something different than the book. I forget, but in the movie it's Marlon Brando, and the story is so funny. But he was a huge actor at this time, so he was making big bucks. But he
Okay.
got to the point where he didn't give a shit about anything anymore. This is like when he was like ballooning up. He was like 500 pounds, but
Uh,
they literally had to put like a voice transceiver into his ear because he was like. They gave him the script. They're like, "Here's the lines you have to memorize," and he was like. I'm Marlon Brando. Suck my ass. So he didn't memorize anything. So they literally had to feed him lines in his ear and like yeah, the whole fucking thing about it was he like just did not give a shit anymore, but people were like, "We need Marlon Brando. We need him. So make it work."
Yeah,
Did you not have to read
yeah,
that book,
he's a crazy. Which one?
The Heart of Darkness?
Oh,
Was there a
we're on a
little bit of
little
a
bit of a
lag?
delay here. No, I did not have to read that book. Yeah, feels like you're like 2 seconds behind me right now.
All right, we'll
Might
see.
be
We'll
my
see if
might be
it
my computer, but hopefully
comes back.
it might bounce back.
Yeah, we'll
Um,
see.
no, Marlon Brando's a weird one though because when I if you Google him, he has some like his end of life pictures are like or like when he's near the end of his life, he's a very strange looking
Dude, when he's pressed
blobbish
up against
fellow
the
at the end.
window in his whitey tighties and you just see this fucking giant gut. Have you seen that one, bro? Oh, I have to send
Yes,
that.
I
Oh,
have
you have?
definitely
Okay,
seen that
okay.
one.
Dude,
I'm
that
gonna
one
look it
is
up. I'm gonna look it up
brutal. Yeah,
again
pull
right
that
now.
up.
Maybe I think if you do some post production, uh, that would be a good
Yeah,
image to
I'll do a
flash.
little
Let's see. I'm gonna look
tweaking.
up
Dude, the story too is
Marlon
that
Brando fat.
his wife or whoever he was dating at the time literally had to lock the fridge up, and she would wake up sometimes with either successfully the lock broken, or there would just be giant bite marks over all the metal of him trying to fucking open the fridge like a
Jesus
disgusting creature.
Christ.
He also used to pay his buddies. This is how you know Marlon Brando was in a bad place because he was eating Burger King. Apparently, he was a big fan of Burger King, but he would have his buddies throw Burger
Uh-huh.
King over his into his backyard. He had like a wall, but they'd throw Burger King over, and like a drug dealer would like
Uh-huh.
run out and like get the bags, and then like run inside like a fucking ferret of some sort. Poor man. Poor man.
Dude, and it's really a shame because actually at the beginning of his career, I mean, if you look up pictures of him, what he looked like back in like I don't know what was it, the 50s or early 60s or something. I mean, he's pretty much like the picturesque, like handsome Hollywood man.
Oh
Like
yeah,
he's like one of
but
the best looking dudes who's
I
probably ever
relate
lived.
to him so much because I have an issue with food too, but he's always had that issue. I forget what movie set it was on, but this is while he was still in good shape. But they literally had to have a seamstress on set because his pants kept either breaking or not being big enough, like because his weight was just fluctuating so much. I think his favorite thing for dinner apparently it was like two baked potatoes, uh, two steaks, and then just like a gallon of ice cream, and he would just like devour it. But dude, I can do that shit. I can
Good
put some
God.
food away. I can put some
I
food away.
mean, yeah, I definitely do have a problem where if once I get started, it's hard to stop. Like I pretty much don't and I think this is maybe like I don't know if it's the American way or just the modern way or what it is, but it definitely feels like, you go to a lot of places right now and they give you a huge portion of food and you're like, fuck yeah, like this is how much food I want to get when I pay $8. I want a fucking Chipotle bowl the size of my fucking dome and then some. But then once you start eating, it's like it's hard to stop until you're at a point that you're uncomfortable. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
dude.
Like,
I saw some queer commercial that was like it was for BetterHelp, you know that like online therapist thing? But
yes,
it was
yeah.
like this guy finishing his plate, and then he has like a flashback to his parents telling him he had to finish his plate, and then his doctor's like, "Did you know finishing your plate is actually a psychiatrist or is like a mental condition?" And it's like, you're trying, dude, to kill yourself. Finishing your plate is like what you're supposed to do, so you don't waste food. You don't have a mental condition because you finish your
No,
plate. That
I
just
think
means you're
it
giving too big of a serving for yourself, you fucking chimp.
Yeah, no, it's just, I mean, the best thing that you can do just for yourself, for the environment, for fucking whatever, is just stop yourself like halfway through and take home leftovers. Like, I mean, like, I know a lot of people don't like eating leftovers, myself included, but it
Dude,
really
I hate
does.
you and I hate everyone like that. Leftovers are the best shit in the world to me. My roommate, this fucking rich fuck, would buy like steaks and pastas and all this delicious stuff, eat half and then pass out from being high, and then just leave it in the fridge to rot. And he'd be like, dude, I can't have filet mignon 2 days in a row. And it's like, why not? Kings
Yeah,
throughout history would have killed to have filet mignon 2 days in a row, you fuck. I
literally,
hate
and
that.
I mean that I do feel definitely. I mean, I've definitely told you this before, but maybe not on pod. But fucking Indian food the next day is like it's like God mode. Like it goes from honestly the first day that you eat Indian food and you're just like, it's just like ecstasy, just like, oh my God, this is like so
I taught
fucking
you that, bro.
good.
I taught
I
you that.
know
You were like
you
the Native
you put me on that
Americans,
shit.
and you came in, and I, the
I
settler,
know.
was like, listen, you take the Indian food, you save it, you make 2 eggs
Yes.
for breakfast, you put it on top, boom, bro.
Yes, it's
Boom.
insane. I mean, you pretty much put me on Indian food, period. Like, I don't think I had even tried it before. You were like, bro, we got to order from this place. And
It's
even
because
to
you were hanging out with our mutual friend Frankie, and you were on that chicken tenders grind, strict
actually,
chicken tenders.
chicken tender. I wonder if he still is like that. I never asked
I
him, but
hope to God not. I think he does listen to this podcast. Frankie, if you're listening, please,
I don't
please
think
try
he's.
other
I
food,
think
dude.
I actually feel like a couple years ago I was because when we were there was a period of time that I was really trying to fucking twist his arm to try some new food. And to his credit, he did try some new stuff, but I don't think anything that he really liked. But I think I asked him a couple years ago if he had kind of gotten over that, and he said that he had like taken his, he'd kind of eased up a little bit on
I
that. Like
hope
he
so,
had
dude.
opened up.
Can you imagine
I
being
know
a
a lot of
grown
people that are,
man and taking like a picture the most banging woman you can? All right, let me think of say one of those like thick ass fox women that I've
okay,
sent you the porn of. Say you're taking one of those
sure.
these fox women to a restaurant and she orders something fancy and then the waiter's like, "And for you, sir?" and you say, "I'll
Chicken
have the
tendies.
chicken tenders." Yeah, you're getting no pussy. You're getting zero pussy that night, bro.
or
Like
or the thick fox that you're with is like, holy shit, this dude is Chad as fuck because he literally doesn't care.
if the fox is severely autistic, yes, she will find that cool, and
Well,
especially if you call them nuggies or
I
whatever.
know. Well, the bottom line is that I mean, I fucking love chicken tenders. Like all those foods that are just the bare minimum, like middle of the bell curve foods that everyone enjoys, are middle of the bell curve for a reason. They are really fucking good, right? Like chicken tendies are like the Beatles of food. Like you'd be really hard pressed to find somebody that just doesn't like it. But you're just also missing out on so much good shit that's not even like adventurous, but just like a little bit out there.
Using your
Again,
metaphor, we that guy who shot George Harrison or whatever Beatle, absolute hero because he made people
oh,
try different foods and listen to different music. You know what I mean?
it's very
He's a
it's
folk
very true.
hero.
I Are you a Beatles fan? Like, are you would you say you're big into them?
Um, I like some music. Have I listened to any of their albums front to back? No. Have I listened
Okay.
to like and don't get me wrong though, I think a lot of their meme music I hate, like Let It Be
That's
or
meme. That's
Imagine
meme.
There's
Yeah,
No
meme.
Heaven. That's like
That's
I
meme.
literally want to shake the guy who shot whatever Beatle got shot. Like I want to shake that man's hand. Like that is the most cringe ass
I know
song, dude.
that. Yeah,
I
but I think
love
they
the
he
have you
gets.
seen the N-word song they did? That gets
Yeah, the
swept under the
woman is
cover.
woman is the N word of the world. Yeah,
If I was a
that's
black guy listening to that, I would have been like, dude, what?
I
What? What the
know.
fuck?
Well, a lot of that stuff, Imagine included, was all John Lennon post, like him meeting Yoko Ono. Like once he met Yoko, it really
Dude, she
did.
fucked his shit up,
She
bro.
really
It's
fucking
there seems to be this
yeah.
movement of like, dude, it wasn't Yoko Ono's fault. And at the end of the day, it's not. It's the guy's fault. But
Hmm.
I've had male relationships where the guy gets a girlfriend like that and just becomes too obsessed and does all this cringe shit. Like, dude, I don't know if you've seen he got like these photos done with her where she's laying down and he's like the big, I think, I think he's the big spoon, but he's like curled up onto her.
Yeah,
And it's
he's the
like, dude,
Dakota. Yeah,
you have a problem.
yeah. It's
You
like
know what I mean? Like, a
it's too
woman can
far.
ruin a man. And here's the thing, though. A lot of people online want to blame the woman. And it's like, no, no, no. It
No,
is the
it's the
man's
dude.
fault
It's the
for
dude. Yeah,
turning into a weird puss man who gets
I
too
think.
obsessed.
I mean, I'm a huge Beatles fan. Like, here's the flip side of it. I love the Beatles. There was a phase like 4 years ago that I went through that was just like, I don't know why. Actually, it was probably longer ago than that, but I like all of a sudden was like, oh, let me try listening to the Beatles. It's like I know some. My dad used to play me the songs that are also like meme songs, right? Like Yellow Submarine and
Oh,
like
banger,
songs that
banger.
absolute banger. But I was like, you know what? I've never actually sat and listened to like the Beatles, like you said, like an album front to back. And dude, they're fucking They're insane. They are really, really good. And I actually do think that people nowadays just want to be contrarian and be like, oh, that you know what? The Beatles aren't even really that good. But it's like, dude, shut up, man. They
Here's
are actually
here's
really
a
good.
contrarian opinion, bro. They all want to shit on poor Ringo, right?
Yes.
First of all, he had the freshest mustache. Ringo wrote the best Beatles song. If you're listening right now and you're a Beatles hater, look up Octopus's Garden.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Literally the best fucking song ever. And I think it was made for a children's show, or like it's a very
I don't
childlike
know. It's
song,
very childlike.
but
Yeah,
it's
but
so good, dude.
that was their so that was on Abbey Road, which is their last it's the one of them walking down the street, right?
Yeah.
It was their last album that they actually all recorded together as a group. They released an album, Let It Be, afterwards, but that was actually like B-sides and previously unreleased shit. But Abbey Road was the final one that they all got in studio and recorded together. And it's one of my favorites of theirs because it's all over the fucking map. You have songs like Octopus's Garden, but you also have like there's some George Harrison songs on there, like I think Here Comes the Sun is on that one, and something
It's kind
what
of a
like
mid song.
oh dude, you're bugging. It's a great
Here
song, but
comes the sun. Da, da, da,
you
da.
feel like it's mid because you've heard it a million and one times, and that's fair. But a lot of that shit is crazy, and that album is great. But dude, there's one song on that album called Maxwell's Silver Hammer, which is infamous in Beatles discography for being one of the most like grating, unpleasant songs to listen to. There's a few, but that's one of them. And the story behind that one was at that time, John and Paul McCartney and John Lennon, who were the two they were the two guys when they started like recording the Beatles together and they became a band. The two of them would write songs in the same room looking at each other. And John Lennon was right-handed and Paul McCartney was left-handed. So they would be looking at each other, holding their guitars like a mirror and be playing side by side and like recording some shit together. But as time went on, they started writing songs on their own. John met Yoko and started experimenting with some of this weird screamo crap and all this stuff. Actually, that stuff is kind of good too. But what ended up happening was that Paul really leaned into this like almost like kitschy, cute, like obla di, obla da, life goes on, like shit like that. And John started getting into this really weird, like trippy, like psych rock, like weird shit like that. And so the later albums had this really weird dichotomy with John and Paul, and then you had the other two guys kind of mixed in there too. But John used to go publicly make statements about Paul and be like, "Oh yeah, that dude just writes fucking granny music. Like he writes music that your fucking grandma likes, but what I'm doing is like fucking art house shit, baby." And like it ended up becoming really a contentious issue for them. Anyway, this is sorry, I know I'm going on
Beatles
and on.
historian,
I am a
Beetle
Beatles
Moses.
historian.
That's where the name came from.
It is kind of where it came from. Anyway, what ended up happening was Paul wrote this song Maxwell's Silver Hammer, which maybe at our in the break you can splice a minute of actually it might be copyright claim, but anybody can look it up
We're
if
not
you haven't
making
heard
any
it.
money on these episodes so
It
far,
doesn't
so
matter. It doesn't
I'll
matter.
throw it in.
So anyway, it's this really like kitschy, weird song that's like really annoying and like literally drills into your brain if you listen to it for too long. And John flat out heard the song, like heard Paul play through the song, said, "This is dog shit. I will not be in the studio. We're gonna record this shit." And Paul was so offended and went fucking goblin mode about it that he made the other two guys like he was like, "We are going to record this song and it's going to be the best Beatles song that we've ever made. Like, do you understand me?" Like shaking the other two guys. And they ended up recording. I think that both George and Ringo, then later on in interviews, said they were in the studio for like 18 hours doing like take after take after take of this fucking heinously bad song because Paul was just so hell bent on trying to say fuck you to John Lennon. And it ends up being
Good.
it's a terrible fucking
Oh
song
no,
anyway.
dude.
But it's like but it is like but the lore behind it is what makes it just like a really iconic moment in their discography. Dude, the Beatles are wild. I love the
The
Beatles.
more I learn
They're
about them, it's
crazy.
interesting. In our last minute, I have to get this point out. A lot of
Go ahead.
people are like, because they think they're funny, it's like, Yoko must have had crazy pussy to get John like that. But this is more of a testament to John. Dude, there's art hoes who have crazy puss. And then
Uh-huh.
there's Yoko Ono crazy art hoes. The pussy is trash. And I guarantee you Yoko's pussy was absolute trash, dude, which is more of a
Dog
reflection
shit.
on John. Like, dude, you are a baboon,
You're
dude.
tripping.
Absolute baboon.
He was married when he met her to like a like a
Baboon, dude. He
cute
was the
like blonde
prototype,
lady. Yeah.
like, I'm a libertarian with an Asian wife. I'm cool.
All
Mr.
right,
Bingus.
we're back. I
Dude,
just posted
Daphne's
it in the
crushing it.
comment.
This is great podcasting material because if they don't like the
I
topic we're talking
know.
about, they can slightly watch Daphne play
I hope they can see it
Skyrim
better.
Online.
I hope they can see it better on your computer because I cannot
No, it's
see.
blown out. No, it's
I
absolutely
can't see
blown out on
anything.
mine. It's like a really white screen with like sometimes there's something moving,
Like
but
some slight movement. I could tell she was playing Elden Ring at the
it
very
looks
least.
fresh though, dude. Like it's kind of I always hear mixed things about games that they're like, let's make an online version. Like, I don't know if you were around for the Fallout Online fiasco, but
Mm-mm.
absolute trash video game, dude. I knew it was
Really?
going to be trash because I was working at a company at the time, CrowdSync Technology, very powerful. But
Mm-hmm.
we did the when Bethesda released the game, we did like the release party at E3, and like we did
Mm-hmm.
these like light up wristbands. But like, dude, when they dropped the game, no one in the audience was like cheering. Everyone was like very straight faced, and it was like, oh, this is not going to be good. This is
No.
not going to be good, dude. They had to do so much editing to like, I remember Andrew K or some big rock star, they like paid him to come out and they literally
Mm-hmm.
used the clips of people reacting to him for the game. And it was like, oh, that, yeah, this is going to be
This is
trash,
not
dude.
good.
It's going
Yeah,
to be absolute ass.
every once in a while when I'm drawing, I have sometimes I have music on in the background, but a lot of times I have like a YouTube video playing too. And I watch a lot of I've been like watching a lot of the what's the one that we're always talking about? Down the Rabbit Hole.
Yeah.
And that guy Frederick
I almost said Frederick
Knudsen.
Douglass, but no, it's
It's like
Frederick.
Frederick Knudsen, I think, or
Yeah.
something like that. Dude, I would love to get that guy on the podcast. How do we link up with that dude? He's
We
fucking
have to
crazy.
do something extremely foul so he does a video on us,
That'd be great.
and then we say, yeah, you can interview us about what happened, and then that's how we get him on. We got to
Yeah,
trap him. Yeah.
it's just my favorite type of content. I love old internet lore or like really deep cuts on the internet that just and he does such a good job like exploring
Well,
really
some of
weird
his videos are
shit.
good, some aren't. I don't like, I like the ones that are real, like the Mouse Utopia one, but then
Yeah, that
it's
one's cool.
cringe to me, the Final Fantasy one where he does a whole
No,
video about some fake story someone made online, and it's
that
like,
one's not cool. Yeah, but I do
what?
like the one that's I like that one. I like the one about furries. I like the one about Spoonie. I
I
was just
watch the Spoonie one like twice a month, dude. I feel so
dude,
bad for that guy.
that's another like strange like a guy that but that's like that perfect era of the internet, right? Like the first wave of content creators before anybody even knew what a content creator really was. And some of them survived, like some of these guys, like for example, I also watched the one that Frederick did on Wings of Redemption. Did you ever watch
That's
that
a good
one?
one. Yeah, dude.
That's a good
Yeah.
one. It's really long and it's really bleak. Like by the end of it, you're kind of just like, God damn, dude. All right, like I get it. This dude's life is fucking. He's just a really
But
like
with
negative
Spoonie
guy.
and Wings, it was like they fucked them.
They
It's
fucked
there. It's
up.
literally all on them,
It is,
and I
yeah.
feel like they don't get that. Yeah.
Yeah, and but in both of those videos, at least, and definitely in the Wings one, there are some characters in the Wings, like in that little circle, like Keemstar, for example, who are still around, and it kind of is crazy to think like, God damn, these dudes have been like internet e-celebs for like they are like the prototypical internet celeb,
We're
and
here
like
for the gauntlet, bro. We're here to take that belt. Cold
yeah.
cuts. We're gonna be the new
I
Keemstar.
mean, yeah, no,
Okay,
so
we're the
yeah,
new Keemstar.
some of these dudes have way overstayed their welcome. I mean, I know that it's almost like silly to talk shit about Keemstar at this point because it's like he's been bad at making content for so long,
Well,
but
that's to me like that's like he knows his audience. His audience is 2 year olds, and he
uh-huh.
makes stuff like flashy and like Playmobil. It's like
Yeah.
news mixed with like Playmobil toys, like very like literally for people with like 3 IQ points.
I
You
know.
know what I mean? But he lives in a mansion. He's banging like a 10-year-old woman. So
Yeah, well, these people, that's great for him. These yeah, these guys that have just been making like YouTube videos for so long, I think they hit this first wave where you could make a lot of money like really fast, doing that shit. And I think it's a little bit hard. You're a lot more oversaturated now, right? There's just like so many people that are trying to make money online, and there will always be a wave of people that do make it, but that percentage gets smaller and smaller. You know what I
well,
mean?
dude, it's not even good fame anymore because a lot of these guys like, oh, Minecraft, I'll get famous playing Minecraft, and it's like you become the Minecraft guy, and then you either like slowly go insane as you realize like your Minecraft fame doesn't translate to anything else, and no one,
Mm,
like everyone just stops watching you, or it just becomes clear that like you got into Minecraft so you could get kids to send you pornography pics of themselves because you're a sick fuck. Like
I
90
know.
90% of Minecraft and then the Super Smash Bros community are
I've
like
heard that.
pedophiles, and it's so weird. But then it's
Really
like I
weird.
don't get why people pretend to be surprised because it's like, dude, this guy is like 35 years old playing a child's game for children. Like
No,
what did
it's
you
not
think was
good.
happening? Like, are you
Yeah.
that stupid?
I mean,
Like,
I just worry in general about like some of these internet celebrities that you really are, you know that a lot of your target demographic is underage, right? Like you know that a lot of people who are following you are under the age of 18 or 17 or 16 even. You know what I mean? Like you have people that are like kids that are following you. And I'm like, I don't know, it gets a little weird. Like I don't like there was a time where you could be a TV star, like a Mr. Rogers or a Steve from Blue's Clues, and it's like, yeah, your primary audience is kids, but
yeah.
you're still you're not interacting with kids necessarily. You're just like being broadcasted into their homes and maybe making their life a little better or easier. But now you have this parasocial thing where anybody can reach out to you, and I'm just like, I feel like a lot of these dudes are gonna get busted on some shit. I don't want
Yeah,
to name any
I'm
names, but
so
I have some
hyped.
people popping into my mind
I'm
already that
waiting
I'm
for
like, yeah.
Game Grumps to get in trouble, bro. I'm
Oh God.
so ready for it, dude. And I think
Yeah.
there already was sexual stuff against the one long-haired fucking baboon brain guy there, but
It's
dude,
not good.
they're so I love creators like that who are delusional who are like, "What do you mean? We're not a kids channel. We're making stuff for adults." And it's like, dude, your entire demographic is 6-year-olds. Like
Yeah.
your entire demographic is literal 6-year-old children.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, I remember this chick I was smashing in college. She was like visiting me. We went to high school together, and she visited me. Dude, goth chick, jugged up, absolutely
Mm-hmm.
goaded with the jugs.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like, "Do you want to watch a Game Grumps video?" And I was like, I'm not sleeping with this chick ever again.
Yeah.
I can't. Like this is such a red flag. Like I'm
I
so
know.
scared.
Um, the Game Grumps thing, I never really got into any gaming YouTubers. Like I was aware of PewDiePie and Game Grumps and who's another one? Just these guys like I guess later on you had some people like Ninja, but even he was like a generation or two after that. But like
Mhm.
uh I never I do understand the appeal. I know why I get why people watch other people playing video games and get enjoyment out of it. Like it's just like watching a sports game to a certain extent. Like you're not playing the game, but you're watching other people do it, and it can be fun if they're really good at it. But uh, I don't know why there's so many people that think they can do it because
I think easy money. They just want easy money.
I don't even think it's that easy. I mean, it's sort of the same thing. Like these guys that think they're gonna make it big on Twitch because they're like, oh, my friends say I'm funny and I'm really good at Call of Duty, so I might as well just. It makes sense. I'm just gonna be a fucking Twitch streamer. It's the same thing as all these chicks that are. Sorry, folks, I'm going there, but it's like it's the same as all these chicks that are on OnlyFans. And I'm just like, honey, you really should have thought twice, maybe three times before opening this shit
Yeah,
because.
there is like a Schadenfreude I feel when there's like not even always a chick, sometimes a guy, but a chick or dude who goes that route and then like is tweeting like I'm literally only making $5 a month, and it's like they're literally posting so much butthole, and it's like Yeah, you really fucked up.
I just
You really
saw
fucked that
some
up.
I just saw some girl that showed up in my feed. I think maybe she retweeted me or something like that, and I went to her page and she's an OnlyFans model, and her like pinned post was that uh she's like, "Oh, subscribe now. It's only $3 to join my OnlyFans," or something like that. And it's been up for fucking like, since like October of 2021, and I'm just like, $3? $3? That's what you're doing this for? Because like I don't even mean to sound like a fucking boomer about it, or a prude. Like I'm pro sex work. I think you should be allowed, get the money where you can. But the OnlyFans shit, just the internet is forever. It's always out there. And OnlyFans, I think a lot of girls see it as just this like get rich quick scheme. And it's like, I do not think it is that easy. I don't think that people are going to be as eager to pay you money just to see your nudes as you think that they are.
And the
Maybe
ones
you'll
that
you'll get a
are,
few,
dude,
but yeah.
I love when chicks are surprised. Like, I get weird messages from my OnlyFans people, and it's like the
Yeah,
type of guy
please.
who's paying for that is not going to be like, I'm an upstanding citizen type guy, blah, blah, blah. Unless he's trying to like smash that chick, maybe. But there's most of the dudes doing that think they're going to date you. They literally think that they're going to date you. And this is why dudes like, there's a story last year. I remember this OnlyFans chick, like this guy showed up at her house and literally beheaded her. And people were shocked. And it's like, no, no, no. That's the type
No,
of
that
guy that
dude,
you're trying to attract.
it
Like,
gets too
that's,
weird.
yeah.
It gets too weird. You know what else is like? It's a little bit of a tangent, but it just made me think of, it's like this trend on. I don't know if it's a trend on Twitter or if it's just Twitter, but just like the fucking horny tweeting, like, but like horny tweeting in a pandering way that you're just trying to get hundreds of thousands of likes. Like, do you ever see promoted or like showing up on your, when you log into Twitter, it's just like, ooh, trending tweets right now, and it's just some girl who tweeted, and it's just like, cuddling when his dick is inside you, and then greater than, greater than, greater than, greater than, and it has like fucking 450,000 likes, and you're like, what is this? And if you ever, and you click on her profile and go to her page, it's like she has like 600 followers or something, and you're scrolling through, and all of her she's tweeting 8 times a day, and it's all that type of
Trying
tweet
to get a
where,
banger like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
where just a horny banger that you're just like, when you wear booty shorts and your ass is hanging out, and it's like, but it's like, I'm like, this is so dumb. Like,
In a way, we
yes,
can't
what
even
is
talk
this?
because this is like, I feel like our equivalent of this is the men with a podcast. So I feel like we're almost like literally right there,
Yeah,
borderline. But
there's probably something to that, but I just can't stand the like. I mean, I know I saw people making fun of this shit anyway. It wasn't a horny one, but it was just like a relationship where you guys are both funny, like, and then greater than, greater than, greater than,
yeah,
and
I've
it's like,
never, literally never seen one of those exist. So
yeah, like, I
I'm
mean,
just
yeah.
throwing that out
First
there.
of all, it doesn't exist, and then,
Yeah.
and second of all, like, shut up. And why all of you guys that are just like liking and retweeting this, like, please, what is your
Have a
IQ
little
that this is just a
self-respect.
little bit? Like, why are you retweeting this? Like,
Yeah.
what is this? This is the dumbest thing I've ever read. Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
I was clowning on the I am very smart people earlier, and now here I am like fucking posturing like I don't like stupid tweets also. But it's like,
it's true, bro.
come on, what is this? What are you liking? Have some fucking decency. I
Dude,
don't get it.
I think the plan for this episode is we're keeping it relatively short today because you got some stuff to do, and we're kind of just doing a little catch-up podcast. But
Yes.
before we forget, we have to get to these questions because I know
Okay.
if I don't force us to hop on these, we're just not going to get to them. So I got the
Yes.
first one pulled up. I'm gonna
Let's
read it.
do it.
This is from Turbotoxin, who I think recently became a Patreon subscriber to me. So thank you. I love you. Very much
Mhm,
appreciate you.
mhm,
And here's a question that might result in some funniness.
mhm.
Who is a stranger that you remember? Maybe someone who did bizarre shit, or you did something embarrassing in front of. P.S. Have you received any wiener pics yet? And first of all, I'll say we haven't received any wiener pictures yet. So women, hop on that. Hung babes, send us a little wiener, okay?
Uh-huh.
We have gotten some chick feet pics. We have
Uh-huh.
gotten some male feet pics as well.
Yeah.
I prefer the female feet pics, I must say. I totally must say.
Yeah, I would say. Well, I can't necessarily say they were male feet pics, but they were masculine, like hairy looking feet,
Yes, yes.
which is fine. That's
Yeah,
cool. I'll take
that's
those too.
okay. Off the top of my head, the stranger I remember is there was this clearly homeless guy,
Mm-hmm.
um, big gut.
Mm-hmm.
This is when I was living in New York, and he was sleeping in one of the trains, like on the floor,
Mm-hmm.
and his gut was bouncing around. And these fucking annoying sorority type chicks came in the train with their Starbucks, haha, hoo hoo,
Mm-hmm.
and they saw this guy, and they're like, oh my god, we need to do something. And they run over and they shake him. Sir, are you okay? Sir, sir. And everyone else in the car is like, leave this guy alone, lady. What are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
It's like
What?
three of them. And the guy wakes up and he's like, oh, what's going on? And they're like, sir, I think you just overdosed. And he's like, no, I'm sleeping. And they're like, huh? You're sleeping? Not in like a king size bed like everyone? Like they were just so shocked. But I remember him waking up and you could tell he was just so embarrassed. And I felt so bad for him. And he got off the next stop and left. And they were like, imagine sleeping on the floor. Like it was like, dude, I hope the train crashes and kills all of us. I hate you guys so fucking much. But I'll
Yeah.
always remember him and those fucking annoying cunts forever. So that's my little tale.
Yeah. That. Yeah. I mean, dude, there are so many homeless person stories that I could probably tell about, like my from my time living in New York, but the one that came to mind like immediately when heard the question is there was one time that I was walking. I thank God somebody was with me. I was with my buddy. We were walking back from the gym, and this is when I was living in Harlem, which, by the way, I mean, ongoing, like since the 80s, there's been a huge crack and drug problem in Harlem, right? And so, but actually, my time living there was really, I have very fond memories of that time. It's a really cool neighborhood, but
You were in there gentrifying it up,
totally,
totally
yeah,
gentrifying it.
totally
Yes.
gentrifying it. There was one time that I was walking down the street. It's like the only time that I've been like victimized for being white. I like sort of. I like walked down. I was walking down the street. It was really late at night, and it was cold. I had my hood up. Nobody else on the block, and I'm just walking past like an apartment building. And as I'm passing by one of the apartment buildings, I can't see inside because it's too dark. But there's just like a window cracked, like slightly open, and I'm just walking by. And just as I walk past that window, I just hear someone go, "Hey, white boy," and I was like, like "What the fuck?" And it was like, I think they were just like fucking with me. They just saw me coming. But anyway, there was another time. This was in broad daylight. I was walking with my boy back from the gym to our apartment, and there was a guy. You know, you also get that idea. Like, I'm sure you're this way also in California. It's just like when you there's so many homeless people around you, you kind of learn in a way. It's terrible, but you learn to kind of just tune
Tune
people
him
out.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just can't, because you can't, if you gave money and interacted with every homeless person that you saw, when
You'd
you
be
just
joining
you
them
would
and
be you
you'd
would
be
be one
broke
of
as
them,
well. Yeah.
exactly. And so like um but there was one point that we were walking past, and there was a dude on a bike who seemed insane to me, and he was wearing like this like a vest that it looked like he made himself, and he had a sort of a flag on a long like stick connected to the back of his bike with feathers on it, and a helmet that he had also glued feathers like down the middle, and he's like biking basically in a circle around this like intersection area, and he's going like caw caw caw, like just like going around. And me and my friend are walking past him, and we're just, he's like kind of close by us, and we're just like, all right, just don't, don't say anything. There's no reason to interact. Just go home. Like, just keep walking. And he's going around. And right as we're getting close, he's like pulling up. And somebody else, another guy, like from behind us, all of a sudden goes like, oh my God, Birdman, Birdman. Like, what is happening, my brother? And they just like dap up, and he's like, how you been, man? And Birdman gets off his bike, and he's like, same old shit. Like, I'm going to see my brother later. He's just like a normal ass dude. I
Dude,
was
that's
like,
so
what the
fresh.
fuck is going on?
Dude,
Just
I love when like a local homeless guy becomes famous. When I was in
yeah,
Cambodia, this guy like was walking down the street and every Cambodian local was like, yes, yo, brother, yo,
yeah,
this guy. And my parents, I was like a little kid, so I was with my parents, and they're like, who is this guy? And because everyone's calling him the mayor, the mayor, the mayor. And it's like he was wearing like a sackcloth and no shirt. So we were all like, is he actually the mayor? And they're like, no, he's just a local homeless guy that we all really like. Mayor man. And
Let's
dude literally
go.
was like a king, bro. Like when fucking like doing the wave, like, hello everyone.
Dude,
But
yeah,
like
I
I
love
love
that.
that shit, dude. I
I used
love
to have
that.
another I had another buddy at one point who was very like he was a big guy, like tall, like six something. And we would walk like he used to know a lot of the homeless people that would like live in this like area that we would walk through sometimes that he was cool with, and he would like have conversations with them even though they were homeless and stuff, and he would throw them a couple bucks here and there. And I always thought that was really cool, but also like you kind of have to be a physically imposing person to safely pull that off. Because if you're like, I don't know, it's just like if you're small or like, you know, like a petite woman and you just want to be the cool chick that's talking to homeless people, you're gonna get yourself into trouble.
Yeah,
That's the
shit's gonna go
unfortunate. It's
south
shit
real
is gonna go
quick.
south.
And not
Yeah.
even because like I know a lot of people want to act like homeless people are all evil, but like, the
No.
video that pops to my mind is like a lot of right wing, super right, far right people were sharing this as like, we can't trust blacks. But there was this video of this homeless guy sleeping, and
Hmm.
this white guy is walking by doo, 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 and sees him, and then takes off his jacket and puts it on the
Hmm.
homeless guy as like a blanket, and the homeless guy like wakes up, freaks out, and starts kicking the guy's ass. And but it's like, I think the even homeless people tell you when you become homeless you're supposed to not stay in groups because bad stuff happens. But like,
Hmm.
I can tell just the way the guy reacted that he wasn't like, white guy, oh, I'm gonna rob him. It was more like he probably thought he was being fucking attacked. Because
Yeah.
like, who's touching you when you're homeless
Yeah.
sleeping? No one's gonna like, unless someone's fucking with you. But like, yeah, that shit can get dangerous real fucking
For
quick, dude.
sure, for
Real fucking
sure.
quick.
It's really and also again, like not to antagonize homeless people, but you know, because a lot of them, the bottom line is that they've just been dealt a really shitty hand, right? They haven't been. They either have, you know, like a medical issue or a mental issue that's not allowing them to work with no family to support them. You know what I mean? But those two right there, that's describing fucking millions of
Of Americans,
Americans.
dude.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's like, I mean, it's not that far off
I have to
from.
say though, just to play devil's advocate, because the left seems to think if we built enough houses and gave every homeless person one, they would all magically become members of society.
No.
There's a large majority of homeless people who are sick in the head,
Yes.
or are bad people who, like,
Yes.
you could give them a mansion and they would literally turn it into like a drug den and smear poop on the walls
I
within like
know.
a day. So like,
No,
it's
it's
not
true.
as easy. Yeah, yeah. You get
It's
what I'm saying.
there, you know, there's a lot of different sides to it because on one hand, I mean, yeah, we're in a housing crisis anyway, which I can't even get into because I don't have the answer to that shit.
I'm never gonna be able to afford a house,
I
bro.
don't, I mean, I don't know anybody who is. Anytime, even like people who are like my peers or people that I went to high school with or something, and they post like, just bought my first house with my husband or something like that, of which there's not many, but when I do see that, I'm like suspicious. I'm like,
Dude, every single
really, really, did
I
you?
hate that
Because
dude. There's this
come on,
fucking annoying kid I went to high school with he always wears Carhartt and he pretends to be poor. And I went to his house one time when we were in high school. It's so big and such a mansion that his parents have to communicate with intercoms. There's
right?
literally intercoms all over the house. That's how big it is. And it's like he got a house, I'm pretty sure recently, and he's like celebrating, and it's like, dude, you're just a child who will
Like,
never be an adult. Like, you
like
have everything
literally,
handed to you. It's so cringe, dude.
it's like you remember that like like 3 or 4 years ago. It probably wasn't even that long ago, or maybe it was longer. But remember when like fucking Kylie Jenner, was, like the first, the youngest self billionaire or something,
Yes,
and
yeah,
people were like, "What are you smoking? Like, what
literally.
in what world is she self? What does self-made even mean? If you have, if she's literally been, if she did literally, if she was literally just a bubble boy and sat in her room all day and did absolutely fucking nothing, she would still be a millionaire. So
Yeah,
how
no,
the fuck
yeah,
is that self-made?
extremely cringe, bro. And then
Anyway,
anyone who brought up your argument, they'd be like, sexist much?
oh yeah,
Hates women? Hating women? Hate
it's
pussy?
it's like no, dude. And I don't even hate the Kardashians. It's just like, I mean, I don't have any reason to hate them. It's just like, don't, please don't
And
tell
I
me
don't
you're
even
fucking
hate women,
self-made. I don't even hate
just
women that
unattractive
much.
women.
Yes.
That no, I'm totally kidding.
The
Ladies, you're all
Andrew,
beautiful.
we need to get Andrew Tate on the
We need
podcast.
Andrew fucking Tate, bro. I'm gonna send him a message. I'm gonna shoot him a little message.
I have a feeling he's fielding so many fucking messages these
Oh,
days
he has
anyway.
to be. All right, I'm
Um,
skipping this question. Or I'll read through it, but
okay,
it's
go
not
ahead.
really a
Go ahead.
question. But I am writing to you because I am wondering if you sell crack rocks on the corner of 43rd, 44th, and St. Louis. If so, what price point are we looking at, my man? I have 12 large on Venmo and I'm willing to pay up. Thank you for your timely response. Excellent. That, yes, to confirm, Harris is selling meth
I am,
on
yeah,
the corner
but
street.
you can't afford it, so don't bother.
Now, this one is I'm not sure if they're a chick or if they're a guy, but they're one of those cosplayers who dress up, and they did send us feet pics. So I will, we just a little
Oh yeah, I
glance. We
remember
do
that
have a
one.
little bit of toe. We do have
That
a
was
little
a
bit of
cool one.
toe. But
Hmm.
hi, Conga Healy here. Huge fan of Yola Swag Studios. Beetle Moses is pretty funny too. Let me read
Yeah,
that again.
yeah.
Huge fan of
Thanks for
Yola
the
Swag
fucking
Studios.
yeah. Thanks.
Beetle Moses is pretty funny too.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to ask, since you two say that these short comics you currently do are not your end goal and are being used to garner a following before you move on to bigger projects, what are these projects? What are these bigger projects you plan to do in the future? Rate my feet pics. First of all, I can see toe the way you can like see the toe through the
Hmm.
nylon. I don't know if you guys can see that, but 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Great job, and also just the cosplay, the effort. I mean, 10 out of 10 just for effort alone.
Oh
Like I
yeah,
like
I
the
think that's a
concept.
Naruto character. I could be wrong. I'm not sure, but
Uh-huh. That's cool.
my goal with this stuff, I mean, originally it was like I'll become an actor, but I think Daff kind of told me like I feel like it'd be hard to transition from comic guy to actor, but ideally I'd love to get working on a show, my own
Hmm.
show, or now that we've reconnected, another goal I wouldn't mind getting into would be to do our own like self-funded show,
Hmm.
whether
That'd
that's
be
on like
great.
YouTube or we could do the Papa Meat method where we do crowdfunding and then it's just like a Patreon exclusive show,
Uh-huh.
just so we can get our
That'd be cool.
shekels. But that's kind of the goal. I guess like an animation would be the end goal, or even voice acting would be something I would be down to do. But how
Hmm.
about yourself, good buddy? How
Yeah,
about yourself, less funny Beetle
yeah,
Moses,
my like
according to this
slightly
person?
less funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a slightly smaller future ahead of me because I'm not as funny.
Yeah, yeah.
I yeah, I think we're on the same page in that regard too. Like I think that this like drawing comics is really fun, but and it's a great way to showcase like art ability, which I love, but I think it's also a really great way to write, you know what I mean,
Mhm.
in kind of this offhanded way. Because I'm not so much of a I mean, I have written some stuff, but like I don't sit down and I'm like, one of these people in like a movie that's like, okay, I gotta write a book now, and I'm just gonna like sit down and click clack. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not really a writer in that regard, but I like writing jokes and bits and coming up with ideas and funny situations and things like that. And I think yeah, I think it would be really cool to work in that regard, like on a show if it was our own. That would be so fucking dope.
Adult
And
Swim, if you're listening, two for one, baby. Beetle Moses and YOLO.
we're a
Our own
package deal.
show, and we're cheap.
We're
We're
very
cheap
cheap.
beats. We're very
Yeah.
cheap. We put out for just like you buy some chicken nuggies, you can
That's all
smash Bus, baby.
that's
It's
all it
happening.
takes. Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
think and I think that I feel good about where things are headed right now. You know what I mean? I still love
Bro,
drawing
your
comics that
trajectory is like I've been in the trenches forever, and of course my
well
stuff is garbage compared to yours. But
no,
you're
that's not
growing, bro.
true.
You just had who's the chick who just is like works in TV and she just
Yeah.
animated something for you. Like
Yeah,
you're
Kareem.
blowing up, baby.
Yeah, that no, that's awesome. Yeah, she's been we've had some communication. She's super cool, but I mean it's like, all this stuff is like Twitter has just been really good. People forget that Twitter is first and foremost a networking. It's a way to network, you know what I mean? Which
It's a way to
networking
get pussy and network.
it can
Yes,
be, but even get trying to get pussy is you have to network a little bit. You got to reach
the
out, right? You got
pussy
to
network,
yeah, it's there. The Bussy Network.
the pussy net BN baby
Oh, dude,
BNN.
if we had our own show, that would be like a cool. Anyway, like the Bussy, like it aired on the Bussy Network, like would
Oh
be like
yeah. Well, of
be
course. Well, now we have to go and make a TV network
yeah, we had to start
before
our
that
own.
happens.
Well, I would
Yeah.
say we're probably about 30 years out from owning our own bona fide TV network, but like it could happen. Well, stay tuned. So, but I think like That would just be super cool. I'm still having so much fun drawing comics. But what I actually meant was in terms of just how I feel like confident about where things are going is also just like the podcast has been doing really well. I mean, in a short amount of time, and
Thank you, Vosh, and his
yeah,
Discord.
thank you,
Thank you very
Vosh. Well, thank you
much.
everybody who's been on. Thank you, Rusty. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Bo. Thank you, House. Like all of these guys have been great. Thank you, Squizzy, for no, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I
Never mind. I'm not
totally
gonna say
forgot.
that.
Thank you for
But
beating the shit out of your boyfriend.
yeah, okay. I
Thank you.
wasn't. I wasn't gonna
I'll
say it,
go
but
there,
yeah,
this
yeah,
is
go
why
there.
Conga thinks I'm funnier than you, because I
Thank,
go there, baby.
thank
I
you.
go there.
Yes, exactly. But I just think it's all been good. Like I'm really enjoying this period of time where I'm sure you feel the same way. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but just totally throwing myself into work that I really like doing.
Oh yeah.
And I
Am I losing hair rapidly because I'm
oh,
barely scraping by and
dude,
the money is killing me? Yes,
dude,
but
my
couldn't
yes,
have it any other way.
my girl is plucking like 5 white hairs a day off of my head.
Dude,
Like
you're
it's like
such a fucking loser. My old roommate was like this too, where it's like, I don't want white hair. Dude, white hairs make you look fucking
no,
baller,
it
dude.
does. Yeah, it
Leave those
does.
in. Tell your chick, say, what is
Leave them
no
in.
in Latinx?
No,
Yeah,
it's no.
no. Say that. No. Be very firm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like I don't even mind going gray, but it's certainly a result of me like having absolutely no I mean it the
I'll tell
pro
you what it's a result of.
what is it?
Still
Go ahead.
living with your parents. I would literally put a gun in my mouth.
Yeah.
I love my parents, bro, but like I would kill myself, dude.
Yeah.
I gotta convince you to ruin your life and move to LA, baby.
Yeah, no, that'd
LA,
be that
baby.
that honestly is like there that's all in the cards. I mean, it's like basically what's been really good is that I've been able to just totally throw myself in my work. And the only reason that my parents have been like cool with it is because they see, first of all, that I'm like, I was gonna say mentally well, but that's not really true. It's more because I'm kind of like in schizo mode still, but like I think they just can tell that I'm really like it's the first time I've been passionate about
Yeah.
working. You know what
Dude,
I
I
mean?
am so glad things are working out for you because, we reconnected maybe a month ago and we text
No, it's
maybe,
been long. It's been longer than that.
has
We've
it? Maybe
yeah, it's
two
been
months?
dude, I think it's been like a year now because
No. Well, dude, that was
yes.
like we'd text each other once every few months. Like I wouldn't call that reconnecting. But
Okay, okay, that's fair.
right before you got onto Twitter and you were telling me how you were going to get this IT job, which I was so jealous because I was like, wow, you're actually going to have money and not have to eat ramen off the floor.
Sure.
And then a week into you posting on Twitter, you were like, yeah, dude, I completely blew off the IT thing. Like
No, no,
it's
no,
you and me now, baby.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, I've ruined his life. I have
No.
completely ruined Harris's life. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna be destitute now, but it's paying off, dude.
No, I mean it's like well, it hasn't paid off yet, right?
Yeah,
I'm
it
nowhere
will. It
near where
will.
I'm nowhere near where I want to be yet. But I know, but it's been really fun and it's like I just know that whatever, you know what I mean? Maybe like getting into IT, if I wanted to go down that career path, I would just be back into a career path that I hate. And like I had money before I quit I was actually like making pretty decent money at this like manager position at a retail store. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like decent enough that I was like alive and had a little bit of extra money to put away, but I hated my life. You know what I mean? Like that was the problem. I did not
I would
like
literally
doing that.
fantasize about coming in with a
Burning it all
gun
down. Yeah,
and burning it and
Molotov.
just like
Yeah.
blowing up my work spot. It was
Yeah.
like and my parents were like, that's normal. And I was like,
Yeah.
no, no,
No.
no, no,
No.
no,
Yeah. I mean, it's like
no, no,
I
it's
had
not.
I had a couple just like triggering life events that made me just feel like, okay, where I'm at right now, there's a lot that I am thankful for and I'm blessed to have, but there's a lot of shit that I wanted to be different fucking 5 years ago. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I wish I had this, but it's like I wasn't doing it for myself. So
No.
now I'm in that mode, and the comics have been a great medium for that. And I think even if we're at a time that you and I, well, when you and I are at a time that we're actually creating stuff that's not comics, like show writing and shit like that, I probably will still be drawing comics here and there too because I really do
Yeah.
like it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's fun. It's like, and I think it's what a lot of people now recognize me for. Like when I
Yeah.
posted that animation of the Trico that you helped me with, uh the I think that people just didn't even I don't even
No,
think
dude,
it
I
clicked.
guarantee you no. Dude, GIFs and animations just get way less play on the algorithm. Like, it did good numbers. The fact that you think it didn't perform well is so funny to me. Like,
I don't know.
it
I
did
did
good,
not
bro.
feel that
I
way.
guarantee
Yeah.
you no one saw that and was like, "Where's the comic? Where's the comic?"
Maybe I it's just I do kind of feel like maybe there was a camp of people that were like, I don't get it. Did he make this? Did somebody else do this? Like what is I
Eh,
thought he posts comics,
they
but
can suck and fuck me, bro. I don't give a shit. All right, let's
but
try to
yeah.
burn through these in the last five
Yes.
minutes, and then we
Let's
can
do
do a
it.
wind down. This is
Yes.
from Matt Simonian, which is almost like simian, like a monkey.
Like a
I
monkey.
like that.
Love that.
Howdy, enjoy the show. Good stuff, fellas. I appreciate the honest, nuanced take on Sam Hyde and that sphere of drama. In an earlier episode, Zach mentioned wanting a soundboard. There's a program called VoiceMod that works pretty well. Come Town and Up, Who Up, that must be a pod. Who Up have
Hmm.
used it. Only question I can think of for you guys is what, if any, leftist content creators, i.e., Chapo, Come Town, podcast about list, do y'all enjoy? Anyways, hope your show is successful and you guys keep at it. Both your artwork is great.
That's
Turd
really
Hurricane.
nice.
Yeah, that
Wow,
guy's cool. Oh,
great.
he comments on a lot of stuff. I think
Super
it's
nice
funny.
message. Thank you.
I think there might be a few right wing guys who would be very upset with you quantifying Come Town as a leftist podcast, but I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
This podcast about lists I keep hearing about all the time, and I hate it, and I can't listen to it. I follow one of the guys from it, but there's one of the main guys who looks just like me, and I was gonna give him a chance,
Hmm.
but I don't think we have a mutual friend. But my friend met him at a party,
Hmm.
and she said he was very annoying and not funny. And this chick's jugged up, so I was like,
She must be right.
writing another fellow man off because of a jugged up chick. I don't
Uh-huh.
care for him. I no, but I heard podcasts. I think they're called podcasts about lists, not who up. Yeah, podcasts about lists. Apparently they're very funny. So don't take what I just said with any
Hmm.
form of realty. But I do like. I've never listened to a Come Town episode, but I have listened to clips. Specifically, Nigerian guy, really excellent.
Hmm.
But I do think they're pretty funny. I don't really listen to too much stuff. I kind of just do my own thing, I guess.
Yeah, I know, me neither. I really wish I had something more to comment on it. I know I'm aware of all of those guys and like this some of them I may even follow. I want to even say one of those, like maybe podcast about list or something. They may have even retweeted one of my comics. So I really, which is super nice. I don't know if it was them, but one of those guys did, and that's super cool. And I certainly don't want to like be throwing any shade by saying this, but I just don't
Yeah,
listen. I
forget
just
I
don't.
said that. Forget I said
No,
that earlier. Take that
I
back.
just don't listen to. I just don't listen to podcasts so much. Really, I like. I'm not aware of like what's going on in the podcast sphere. Besides our own, but that's because I am a boomer soy jack.
Yeah.
Like I'm not. I don't.
Oh, bro, I
Yeah.
know a huge flaming lefty that we both enjoy. Keith Stack. He seems like
Is,
a cool dude. I like his stuff.
is he flaming lefty? Has he
He
revealed
was
that?
pretty pro into like when the abortion thing happened. He was like saying we should burn down government buildings. I think, but I guess that
Okay.
doesn't quantify
Oh yeah.
lefty.
No, that's like normal.
I think maybe
I
people just accuse him of being super left, but I like Keith Stack. He seems like a cool
yeah.
guy.
That's so funny. Like I don't know, just the idea of like I accuse you of being left. Like, okay, did I kill anybody? No. Like I don't. Anyway, whatever.
No,
But
but he's left.
like,
He's left.
who gives a fuck? Who gives a
Kill
fuck
him.
if people are left or right or who gives a shit anyway?
I don't know.
But yeah, no, Keith Stack, big fan, and I discovered recently that he's been drawing the lesbian couple for a really long fucking time, which
I had
like
no idea. Dude,
I
we
had
just
no
found that out
fucking
recently,
idea.
but
Yeah,
two
and
decades, right?
like I mean almost 2 decades, like a
That is
really long time.
insane, bro.
Which I was like, holy shit, Keith, you are if you're listening to this, I love you, man, but you are a fucking boomer, dude. I did not realize you were that old.
I
But
know,
like,
bro.
but dude, I mean, like his art style has gotten so much better over the years, and I mean, immediately when I saw it, because like the wacky lesbian hour episode that I saw that was like fucking 2005, I was like, holy shit, man, like this idea is really ahead of its time. It sounds kind of Reddit to say that, but it's just like I don't know, the idea of just like having these are my two characters. It's a lesbian couple in the style of kind of like a Ren and Stimpy, like grotesque 90s Nicktoon, but them being a lesbian isn't a joke. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, like there's no like gay jokes, as it
Especially
were.
because during that time when he first started, anytime you did have like a lesbian, that would be their main personality trait.
Right.
You know what I
That
mean?
they
Or
were
like a
just
gay guy. Yeah.
yeah.
You got slashed.
I
You
got
got whipped.
slashed, but anyway, I think my point got it came
No,
across
ahead of his
anyway.
time, Keith Stack.
Very ahead of his time, and I would love to have him on the podcast.
And honestly, the one lesbian he draws is quite thick. I've seen a lot of porn of her. You know,
She
I've seen a lot
is.
of like fat fetish porn of those characters. I think he retweets it sometimes, but they
Oh,
look like
really?
really
The
ball like.
That's great.
Um,
I mean, there's a lot to be envious about that guy because he's got a huge following and he's got a very good quality output. But my main thing that I'm envious about is he gets so much fucking fan art, and I never get fan art. Not never, but
you heard it here first, folks. Let's get some Beetle Moses fan art cranking.
I think it's tough because I don't have a like recurring set of
You got to
characters.
drop one comic or one drawing with your little beetle guy. Once you do that, I guarantee you it'll start flowing.
Yeah, I would really love to see. I was actually thinking, I mean, I would love to see a drawing, especially of your character and my character, but drawn in like a really fucking badass like anime style. Like
Oh,
really like that would
crispy.
be so
We can
so
commission
sick.
that. I'll
That'd be
commission
dope.
that. I'll commission
If
that.
you know anybody who would do that, that would be really fucking cool.
I think we got one or two questions left. Here's one. This guy messaged me today. Vinci, I'll call him. He said, relationships are hard.
mhm.
Okay. And starting out with a fact. Very true.
Facts.
Hey, fellas, it's Vinny again. If it's hard to say in English, just say Vinny. I didn't even read that and I just went with it. So that's
There you
beautiful that
go.
it
That's
worked out
great.
like that. I was wondering if you'd enlighten me again. So this chick I was into came to my place and we had the meanest sex ever. Let's fucking go,
Let's
brother. Let's
go.
fucking go.
Let's go.
Like I was walking on a talic for the whole week after it. Hell yeah. But on the next week she started
What does that mean?
but on the next week she
What
started
is
dating a dude. I think walking on a talic means he was
you're
like
just like
it either
with a
means he was
limp
super happy or this chick is really hung and
with a
fucked his
limp.
ass
Yeah,
and
that
now
could be
he's
it
like
too.
limping, which
He's a
both of those banger mode,
banger,
bro.
banger.
Um but on the next week she started dating a dude. My question is, did she use me? I feel like she did it to
Hell
provoke
yeah,
him to
brother.
go
Oh,
out with
sorry.
her. Oh no, I mean
You should wear it as a badge of pride, baby. You
in a
got
way, but
fucking
if
woo.
he's coming from it where like he really liked her and he
Yeah.
feels used, like I totally get feeling kind of like dirty a little bit, but I feel like she did it to provoke him to go out with her. Like, I don't need your dumbass make up your mind. It could have been the reproductive period. Anyway, women are gay. That's true. Okay, women are very gay.
A lot of them are, yeah.
Um, I've had chicks do that, or like I've seen chicks do that to people where they like they'll fuck some other guy to show the other guy like I'm not waiting around on your cracker ass. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Kind of like to provoke it. What do you
Mm-hmm.
think? Should this woman be strung up and beaten?
No, I think the guy is. I don't think the woman should be strung up and beaten. I mean, I can understand, and I don't mean to say that uh to undermine if you did really like this girl, I'm sure that it was very upsetting or maybe even painful for you to see that she's with this other guy. But part of life, baby. You will meet somebody who really likes you, you know what I mean? And just wear it as a badge of honor, man. I mean, like there's some dudes who oh couldn't are not even they're not even good looking or cool enough to be the rebound guy. You know what I mean? At
Yeah.
least that you were used as ammunition
Yeah,
because
rebound
she
guy is
thought you
not a
were
bad
cool.
place to be.
It's not a
It's
bad
not
place
a
to
bad
be.
place to be, brother.
And you know what? It's like, yeah, you know what? And I hate to pull this card, but like because we're kind of old, I don't know. Like you sound like a young guy to me, probably, and I don't even mean that as a bad thing. It's great, like, but you sound like a young guy, probably. So I would say dude, you're gonna meet other girls, man. It's okay. Like you should not be hung up about this. You should
Oh
certainly
yeah.
shouldn't
Oh yeah.
fucking do
Dude,
anything rash to or message this girl anymore. There's no reason. Who
that
fucking
was me up
cares?
until college. Like anytime I broke up, it was like, well, that's the last woman I'll ever meet that loved me. And then it would be like a week later, I'd be like, I was being so stupid. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
seriously. And it's like, you know what, if you're however old you are now, it doesn't even matter. It's like I promise in 6 months, not even, probably in
You'll have
three
meaner
months,
sex.
you
Yeah.
yeah, this whatever this situation is will be completely fucking irrelevant to you. You'll
Also,
start talking to somebody else
here's the
and
deal, brother. If the sex was that ballin', hopefully it was ballin' for both of you. You know what I mean? There's times I'm sure I thought I like crushed the sex game, and the chick was like, "I didn't even come." I'm sure that's happened. But if the sex
uh-huh.
was that bad, there's a good chance if her new boyfriend can't live up to it, she's gonna be texting you real soon.
Hmm.
Okay, so just keep that in the back of
Just
your
hang
mind.
around. And you know
Yeah,
what? I have this other guy, I have this buddy of mine who was an old coworker of mine who's like 40 or something. And he just by choice, he never got married, never had kids. I don't know if he's ever been in a relationship longer than like a year or two. You know what I mean? He just lives alone. And I was always like, I asked him, I'm like, you know what? Are you like trying to like, I don't know, settle down or anything like that? He's like, hell no. He was like, no, fuck that. And also he was like, he's like, I'm at an age now where a bunch of the like girls that I hooked up with or just was like casual relationships with, they got married, they found somebody, and then they got divorced, and now they're back in my DMs, like just like, hey, what are you doing? I'm in town. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's
yeah.
like, I mean, that's way down the line. I'm sure this guy who wrote this isn't even approaching 40, but it's just like it's like that's just the way of the world, man. Like just fucking you will
The
be fine.
twist is this is Keith Stack, and he's actually 60. So
Yes.
he may have
Yeah.
limited time left. No, no.
Yeah.
And then to end it, he says, as a treat, YOLO, I'll tell you, Viandojo do Caralho means fucking fagolio in Portuguese. The no is pronounced like nyo and gnocchi. Very nice. A little
Nice.
tasty treat. Now I can cuss at people.
I like that.
And I think that was the last one, except from your hilarious girlfriend who
Oh
sent
yeah,
us
she
the
sent the
same
same
question.
message.
Yes.
I
Oh,
think she
no, she
is
did change
trolling.
it.
She did?
Yeah, because the first one was, does Beetle Moses have a boyfriend? This one is,
Oh,
does
this one is
Beetle
just
Moses
doing
have
it
a
as have a
girlfriend?
GF.
That's nice. She was willing to not get a little gay dig at you. That's powerful.
Yeah, this time,
That's
yeah, things are
sweet.
better. They're very sweet.
Very
Yeah.
kind of
I
her.
think it's because I posted it on my Instagram story that she was just like, oh, I'll send something in there.
There we go. Well, bro, I don't want to get your girlfriend mad, but we did request feet pics, and if she's your
I
girlfriend, she
know.
should be supporting
She
us.
should be
We
sending
need
that.
some
Yeah.
toes.
Don't worry, I'll reprimand her when we get off.
I'm trying to see. Can Daphne lift your foot up? All
Yeah.
right, we got a little foot. We got a
Hell
little
yeah.
Daphne toe in here, baby.
The
Dude, I feel
dirty
like such a
sock.
terrible. This is such like a white guy thing. Like I'm like forcing my girlfriend to sit here while we're podcasting. It's like torture. I still can't believe we made her record on her birthday, dude. Or I
I
did. You
know.
didn't, but so
No,
funny.
but we made her record to address like some hater shit,
Yeah,
some like negative,
yeah, yeah,
terrible shit.
dude.
This is not the
So
way
fucking good.
she wanted to spend her birthday, but whatever. Yeah,
Well,
it's
bro,
funny.
we're gonna be back. I think if you guys haven't noticed, we're doing Tuesday Wednesdays now because I think there was a
Tuesday, Friday.
Tuesday Friday, yeah, because there was too much. One of the days there was too short time to let the episode breathe a little bit. But
Uh-huh.
Tuesdays and Fridays now, you can find us on Spotify. You can
Mm-hmm.
find Beetle Moses on Twitter and Insta. Me as
Mm-hmm.
well, YOLO Swag Studios. And thank you for tuning into the Vosh podcast. We'll have more
Yes.
Vosh news next
Yes.
time. We'll probably, you know what? We'll probably bring Vaj on again. He was a pretty chill guest, and
Yeah,
I
he was
think
great.
he sounded like he wanted to be on again. So
Oh yeah, that'd be great. I would love to talk to that dude. He was really cool.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think next episode we'll have a guest. We'll have a guest next episode.
excellent. Yeah, I think
Well,
so
this is
too.
fun.
But yeah, this
Um,
was excellent. And as always, end it with a banger joke. I'll leave that up to you.
uh, what's the deal with? No, wait.